Oh, my goodness. And there it is. Wow, get this thing to go.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Bowl TV for the PWBA Spokane Open. My name is Aaron Smith with Bowl TV and USBC Communications, and we are ready for the round of 32 coming up next here on Bowl TV. 6 games to determine the top 12. We had 12 games yesterday on an extremely tricky 45-foot condition. Liz Johnson proved to be the top overall competitor for the day, took over the lead late in round number 1. And decided she wasn't going to give it to anybody else. She held on to it for the entire round. But Dasha Kovalova and Danielle McEwan have also created some distance between themselves and the rest of the field heading into the 6-game block. So how are they going to play now that we have less players on the lanes? Well, let's go to the lanes and see here as we get ready for game number 1. But as we do that, we got the lanes up there for you. Let's bring in the crew as well. So from Lilac Lanes and Casino in Spokane, Washington, everybody say hello to Curtis Von Kruger.
Good morning, and good morning. I am stoked to be here. A lot to watch today. And you were talking about what's their strategy today, Aaron Smith. And I think the strategy is going to be don't be afraid to move in and move in relative to this pattern when you see it happen. Trust your instinct and get inside. If you can get inside earlier, I think it's even better. Kind of stay away from the heavy friction on 1 and 2. Couple of players. I would say I really look for Dasha Kovalova to continue her consistency. If you want to really talk about a consistent block or consistent 2 blocks, Aaron Smith, her low game was 192.
Mm-hmm.
Her high game was 237. So she lived in a very narrow window, 45-pin window, essentially, and didn't deviate from that. So I expect much of the same. And on a shot and scoring pace like that, if you can just constantly reel off your 220s, you're never going to give away pins to the field. So very interested to see her. A couple of other players I like to watch today. Danielle McEwan is bowling very well.
Mm-hmm.
Similar situation she started off really rocky. $169 her first game of the tournament. Hard to overcome, hard to kind of start that way and get your mind back into things. But since then, she has been very consistent as well. Low game 195, and she's reeled off a couple of 250s as well. But one bowler I had an opportunity to speak to in a little bit more in depth this morning, Stephanie Johnson. And of course, we talked a little bit about what happens when you start the tournament with a $133. And I talked to her about that, and she was like, look, I had nothing to lose at that point. And it was time to get, you hate to say it, first game out of the block, but you had to make up a lot of ground. And she did just that, moving herself up into 10th place. Really impressive bowling for Stephanie. And she said she was very proud with the way that she was able to grind that out and get back to the right side of plus, and now set herself up for a run at the show. So Stephanie is another person I want to keep an eye on, Stephanie Johnson. So a lot of implications still at stake here. Dasha, obviously, in the Player of the Year race, Missy Parkin also making an appearance, and Shannon O'Keefe coming back and putting herself in the conversation again, sitting there at 17th place. So lots of storylines to follow, lots of contingencies here, and we're going to know a little bit more in just about 6 games.
That is correct. And with that, we're going to go full screen here, folks. But myself, Curtis, and Jason Thomas as well on the broadcast going to be joining throughout the course of the day to bring you the action here on bowltv.com from Lilac Lanes and Casino. Taking a look at the numbers. Talked about Liz Johnson. She averaged more than 225 for her 12 games yesterday, plus 311 But Dasha Kovalova with that consistency, averaging 222 for the day at plus 266. So right around the 50-pin range of first place is Dasha so far. Danielle McEwan at plus 232. She went 193 over that second block. So, just taking a quick glance, it looked like she put together the top number there, maybe for the day as well for a 6-game block. And then the thing we'll kind of be keeping an eye on here is the difference between third and fourth. Obviously, we got 12 more games today before it's all said and done, and we have our top 4 for the stepladder. But right now, from third to fourth is nearly 100 pins. Danielle at plus 232, New Wei Fen at plus 136. So a pretty big gap there from third to fourth. Daphne Tan in fifth plus 114. Stephanie Zavala plus 113. Erin McCarthy plus 112. Gigi Mason plus 110. Rosia plus 106. Stephanie Johnson, as we mentioned, the great comeback to get to 10th plus 97. Bernice Lim plus 93. And Shannon O'Keefe at plus 90, currently sitting in 12th place. So that's the number we're looking at today. Who's going to get to plus 90 is the number right now. Shannon O'Keefe holding on to that spot. Who's going to make the top 12 to move on to the next round of qualifying and get closer to that stepladder finals appearance? Final player to advance, Taylor Bailey, with a minus 73 effort. So it took a 193.92 average to end up making the top 32 here. So a couple players definitely have their work cut out from them, but taking a look from right now from 12th place to plus 90, you look about, you can go down to about 28th place within less than 100 pins. So
yep.
Some players who could definitely make a move here if they're able to get out of the gates. And we saw the scoring pace. There's certainly some opportunity on the fresh. We've seen some bigger numbers out there, and it'll be interesting to see if there's anyone who can kind of take advantage, like we saw Danielle McEwan to kick things off in round 2 yesterday.
Yeah, you got to figure it out, and hopefully it seems like the high end is a little higher scoring than the low end, and so you hope you hit those games where you can put a few together, bowl that 230, 240, 250 somewhere in there. Those are definitely very much in play, and you have seen people come out the gates. Danielle obviously is a really great example, as you said. Really was able to fire off some really nice strike chains, and 230, 240, 250 her last 3 games. So solid set there. And it was an impressive bowling, and it was great to see Danielle very focused. This is a great tune-up for her next week. We got she's defending the U.S. Open title, so it's exciting. It's exciting to watch.
So settle into game number 1 here. We're currently watching lanes 17 through 20 here on our main feature channel on bowltv.com. However, we do have 4 channels available separate of the commentary channel on bowltv.com. So if you are over at bowltv.com, hello, good morning. Hope you're all doing well. Had some fun yesterday as we got down to the top 32, and hopefully we'll see you good folks throughout the day as we get down to the top 4 for the stepladder finals tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. But joining us here for the first game, we're taking a look at Misaki Mukutani, Shannon O'Keefe, and Bernice Lim over here on 17 and 18 to your left. Kelly Kulik, Maria Bolanova, and Lindsay Boomershine over on 19 and 20 to kick things off here.
I still love, as a last name, Boomershine for bowling. It just seems so appropriate.
And she can open up the lanes a little bit too, so that works out well. Not the original Boomer though on the PWBA tour though.
No, that would be Leanne, right?
That is Leanne.
She was like the Mark Roth of the PWBA tour, with kind of the way she kind of changed the perception of what you could do on the lanes. And I love it. I love watching her throw the ball. Man, good morning / afternoon, Bowl TV chat. Glad you guys are here.
That's true. It is afternoon time here in Arlington, Texas, Curtis. So
yeah, well, you know, it's still 10 o'clock in the morning over here.
We're in the future over here.
Oh, why didn't you warn us? How come you don't know the cut?
That'd be true. That would be valuable information
to
have already.
Although technically, now this is going to blow your mind. Technically, I am in the future for you. Yeah, we have some questions about the points early and the player of the year race right now. Julia Bond, Verity, obviously two of the competitors that are right up on top of the leaderboard, 1 and 2. Don't forget Dasha Kovalova either. She has the opportunity to pick up some points on both of them, but Verity has already put some extra points in her pocket on Julia Bond.
Yeah, guys, I'm actually working on a projected standings right now, which I'll have in just a moment, so we can go through that based on where all the players are currently in the standings.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'll have that for you in just a minute.
That's thank you, JT.
And the big news, obviously, from what happened on the lanes yesterday was Julia Bond having the rough day.
Yeah.
Verity Crawley had pretty much made up the difference between her and Julia for the top spot. But Julia with a 54th place finish, not advancing here today. But Verity a little bit farther back. So she has her work cut out for her. Currently at minus 21, qualified in 29th place. So she gets the bonus bowling and is going to have those spots. But, you know, when you look at the success that Dasha Kovalova has had on this pattern throughout the course of 12 games, Shannon O'Keefe in position to make a run at a top 12 here as well. Currently the number heading into competition today. Both of them certainly close enough to finish today, you know, potentially end of today as the leader in points heading into the U.S. Women's Open next week. So JT's Excel file here with all the information is going to be a very handy handy item in the next coming weeks.
That top 4, man, is just an absolute traffic jam.
So Curtis, as the man on the scene right here, you know, we had a brief flirtation yesterday with urethane out there, but I'm guessing we're seeing more of the same here with a lot of surface, a lot of stronger bowling balls out there. What are you kind of seeing out there, glancing the landscape at Lilac?
Yeah, you know, we did see some urethane really, because I don't think anybody ended up going to it besides Sydney. And we've had a lot of people ask, you know, hey, why are they not throwing urethane? Length of the pattern is one, but it just didn't shape like everybody thought it might. And it just got really inconsistent. So I don't expect urethane to come out again today. I think you're right. A lot of, you know, more aggressive equipment, playing that, you know, starting outside and then making a pretty decent transition inside when you can. And you're going to see players like Liz, they're going to avoid the friction by kind of throwing away from it. Stephanie Zavala is going to do something very similar. Gigi Mason is still kind of doing something that nobody else is doing, and the fact that she's absolutely shaping it a lot more than most of the other players, if not all of them. And she's making it look good. When you kind of shape it like she is, it can be very speed sensitive and it can be very, very touchy. And so she's bowling really, really well right now. And she'll continue. But Gigi, as you may know, Aaron, Gigi is really aggressive when it comes to her adjustments. And she wants to move left. She wants to open up her angles, and she wants that opportunity as soon as she can. So she's going to look to do that, I think, maybe earlier than anybody else on the squad.
We saw players get a little more aggressive moving left during round number 2 yesterday as the block progressed. Really didn't see too much of it in round number 1.
Nope.
And, scoring pace, still kind of stayed the same, but players did have to try something new in trying to make a run at this top 32. So less players on the lanes today. We had 4s and 5s for the most part during the qualifying round, so down to 3 on a pair across the house.
Yeah, and that changes, and as you know, that will change a lot of different things. And when you narrow the field to a more elite set of bowlers, right, who are hitting this pattern more consistently, you're going to have a lot less deviation. As far as you had some people playing the lanes very different. I will just say very different than a lot of the touring players. And so when you narrow down the field like this, they are going to break down different. The pattern is going to lay down a little different, as we know as well. Always gets a little flatter, a little tighter down lane. And so, yeah, I do expect them to play different, but I do expect them to break down and blend the oil out a little bit better than the qualifying squads.
Folks, as we get to the beyond the halfway point here of game number 1 of our 6-game qualifying block, round 3 here at the PWBA Spokane Open. Just a friendly housekeeping tip. As we mentioned, we're live on BowlTV.com. The chat is already doing its thing, like it ain't no thing, as we have every time out here on the PWBA tour. So, folks, keep all the good stuff coming. For those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube here, we're going to be live just for game number 1. And then after that, the feed will exclusively be available on BowlTV.com. So that'll be the place to be to continue to watch the PWBA Spokane Open. Not only this round, the next round, and then the stepladder finals tonight. 9 p.m. Eastern time, the top 4 will be advancing, and 1 player will be taking home the trophy when it's all said and done.
Hey, Aaron.
Yeah, Curtis.
I know it's early, but can we get those request line open early? I think there might be something interesting on 21 and 22. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to be super casual about it. But, if you wanted to meander on over there.
21 and 22. Let's go. We'll get it after the chef, Kelly.
Ken, there are women. I'm assuming you mean ball reps. There are absolutely ball reps out here. Matt McNeil, Chuck Gardner, just Nathan Bohr, Storm, Brunswick, and Motive. So, and we have several others. So it absolutely, we do have the tour reps. They do an amazing job.
Oh, I see you, Curtis. I see what you did there.
I mean, just nothing casual, nothing, no big deal. Just saying.
All right, folks.
People might be interested.
Far left of your screen here, Shalinzel Keefley.
I'm blaming you, Aaron. I'm blaming you. You. This is all your fault.
My goodness, Curtis. How could you walk me into that? Oh, what a terrible break there for Shalin, working on 8 in a row, looking to make it 9 to kick things off today. Plus 72 to start the day in 15th place. And a pocket 710 after 8 in a row.
And I am undefeated. Oh, man. It's the Nitro Brew coffee I had this morning. And thank you for the clarification. My brain, Jennifer, is not booted up correctly yet today. So That is a great question, and it's a question, unfortunately, I don't have the answer to. Obviously, it's one of those situations that, yeah, it's a very interesting insight there. Rod, it would not put her really. She didn't. Stephanie Zavala did not bowl the first part of the season, so she is way back as far as points. She pretty much could win everything else for the rest of the season for the most part and not be in that question. So she's at 60-something thousand points. Let me get the exact number. 62,925. So she's more than 30,000 points outside of the top spot. But Rookie of the Year is very much still in play, and not only is it in play, she's kind of starting to take a little bit of a hold on that award. She's at 62,000, like I said, 62,925 points. Brianna Klimmer comes in next at 56,970. However, Brianna Klimmer did not make the cut, and Stephanie Zavala is in the top 10 right now. So she will add some more, kind of pad her lead a little bit more. But I will say, Aaron Smith, and correct me if I'm wrong, next week has a lot to say about all these awards.
That's very accurate statement there, Curtis. With the U.S. Women's Open, the second major of the season coming up, more points will be available for that event. So we're looking forward to that. So that's going to certainly throw a wrench into everything as we look ahead to the Fall Classic Series in October in Reno at the National Bowling Stadium. And then we'll have, similar to the Summer Classic and the Kickoff Classic Series, that final event, the Tour Championship, also a major, is going to be an event that you have to qualify for through the first two events of the Fall Classic Series. So with that, it's 100% undecided is what we're trying to say here, which is great and exciting, and
it's super exciting,
super awesome for us and the fans as well. I mean, we've been lucky to see some phenomenal seasons in the past couple of years, which have led to the player of the year race, the Rookie of the Year race, kind of being settled by the time we get to the final event of the season. And at the moment, with as close as everything is for the top four, certainly nothing settled just yet. As Shalyn gets up here per 10th frame, she can get to 266. Daria Payev, 237. So we got some solid games out of the gates here.
Look at that line. She's kind of taking a page out of a little bit out of the Liz Johnson playbook with the kind of the angle she's taking to the pocket. I see a lot of pretty decent games out of the gate here. Missy Parkin obviously stepping up to the 10th to shoot 235. Kayleen Fultz, Aaron Smith, coming out trying to have a nice solid start to her block, 238 possible for her. And if you didn't know, folks, you can get a chance to know her a little bit better. We put out an interview we had with her, a little conversation we had. She is a forensic scientist, some CSI lab stuff. It's very good, but a good start to her day as well.
Yeah, that video available on our social media channels, both on the PWBA and USBC channels as well. So you're able to check that out. It's up there right now. Nice little interview. Get to learn a little bit more about Kayleen and her experience so far at the Spokane Open. She is one of the local competitors. We had a great showing for local players this week.
Huge support.
But she was the standout from the event so far, from the Washington area. Also, I know as close as we are to Idaho, can't leave out Caitlin Simpson, who also made the top 32. But both of them, those players, non-members. Caitlin, a member in the past, made a show in 2019 and is a regional champion as well. So a lot of great local support out there in the Pacific Northwest.
I feel bad for Caitlin Simpson for this reason. When she comes into the bowling center and all the players, they're really happy to see her, but she brings the bowling doodles with her. And it is immediately, hey, and then right to the dogs. Everybody is like right to the dogs, giving them hugs and love and the smiles on the face. I'll obviously love the bowling doodles when they come out. Check them out. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But it's like, you know, when your kid sees Nana, it doesn't matter who you are anymore.
.233 for Missy. Kayleen's going to have her final shot here. Chance to get to 217. She's going to try something different on the fill.
Yeah, good. Go fishing there. See what you got. Show me what you've got.
That is right.
Don't hate it. Little adjustment there maybe, and might have something there, but she's got some information off that shot. Yeah, there's definitely players that have, you know, obviously found a little success here early, especially you know, the Shaylin Zukeefley pair. They all 206 the low game, 237, 256. That's a nice little pair right there.
Some scores here in the early going as game one comes to a close. So, folks, you know what that means. If you're already on BowlTV.com, you're already in the place to be to watch continued action of the PWBA Spokane Open for the rest of the day until we crown our champion later tonight. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we're going to be signing off. So you'll have to head over to BowlTV.com and pick up a subscription to continue watching throughout the course of the day. You can pick up an event ticket just for today to watch the live action, including the stepladder finals for $8.95. Or if you want to check out a little bit more, looking ahead, we got some great events on the schedule. The U.S. Women's Open, August 24th through the 31st. The Super Senior Classic in Las Vegas, September 9th through the 13th. And the USBC Senior Masters, a major championship on the PBA 50 Tour, September 13th through the 19th, also in Las Vegas. All those coming up on BowlTV.com in the next couple of weeks. So it might be a great idea to pick up a monthly recurring subscription for $9.95. Just $1 more than the event ticket, and it also unlocks the entire site. You get full access to not only the live coverage, but the archived events as well, all the on-demand content. And we also have an annual option as well, $79.95. Transaction fees do apply for all three of those, but we certainly hope you check out BowlTV.com. Enjoy the community. We have giveaways as well during these PWBA Tour events. As a heads up, later tonight during the stepladder finals, we're going to be giving away 3 bowling balls from our gold industry partners in Storm, Rotogrip, and Brunswick. So big thank you to them. But that's all part of the Bowl TV experience, folks. But you have to head over. You have to subscribe for the chance to win and enjoy it all for the rest of the day. So, folks, with that, we're going to take a quick break to transition to game number 2. We'll talk a little bit more about stats and more. Looking ahead to the 2021 season and its finale. But for right now, taking a break. Game 2 will be coming back in just a second here on BowlTV.com. From the PWBA Spokane Open.